How you doing? It's Mark Langley. I'm here with Dan Schwarzbach. He's CEO of Airborne Public Safety, and I met Dan about a year and a half ago.
Yep.
Tell us how you found out about it.
Yeah, it was as part of my work for the association. I maintain the association website and always putting new, and interesting articles up on the website in the news, trying to change them out 4 or 5 a day. And I came across an article about the NPS DDP, and I thought, well, that's a pretty good, that's a pretty cool. That's an idea I wish I would have had, and maybe run that through our association. That's a pretty cool thing. So I just reached out to Mark and said, I think what a cool organization. Sounds like a cool thing. And then from there we started talking, and then Mark invited me to join the board.
So you got a public safety background. Would you tell us a little bit about it?
I do. I had worked for a little bit over 38 and a half years for the Houston Police Department. I worked 30 of those years. I was in the Air Support Division, a helicopter pilot for them, flew for 30 years for them. And during that time, when I was doing that, that's how I became familiar with the Airborne. What back then was the Airborne Law Enforcement Association. Now we're the Airborne Public Safety Association, and their mission interested me and what they were standing for. So I ran for a board position there back in 1998 now, and got elected to the board, and served on the board for 17, 18 years actually, and then. They offered me to come on board as their executive director and CEO, which I did back in 2014. And for a short time, I was working both jobs, both with the police department and with APSA. And they had no issue. They knew I was my background in the police department, and they liked the synergies there. So when I finally retired from the Houston Police Department back in September 2019, then I came on full time and run the organization now full time.
Awesome. So you've been CEO for how long?
Since 2014.
2014. Mm-hmm. You enjoy it?
I do. I really enjoy it. Yeah. It's a labor of love.
Yeah,
you find something you love to do, you don't ever work, and
right.
And this is and it's been a really nice job transition from the from the actual everyday flying and doing that to be able to come over here and manage the association, but still stay in a field that I love.
You stay current? Are you current still? You still fly?
No, I haven't flown. It's a little difficult. That helicopter time is expensive.
Okay, yeah. So you bring up a good point. Helicopter time is expensive. That's one of the reasons our foundation exists, because not all departments can afford to have aircraft at their disposal. And in fact, if they have aircraft at their disposal, I think you'll agree it's not easy to get that on scene if it's off on another mission. So drones can really fill a void there. What's your thought process on drones and what they're going to do and play a role in public safety in the future?
We started working with the FAA and the Department of Justice back in 2007.
Okay.
On getting access to airspace. Back then, they were their thought process. The FAA and the Department of Justice is that we'll give access to academia and to law enforcement, and that's because we can kind of control that, and we'll get some drones flying, and we'll see how that does, and we'll do a lot of safety studies. If it works out, then we'll go. So they approached us, being the Airborne Law Enforcement Association back then, and they said, "Hey, would you guys be interested in working on this process with us and working on a way we can permit them to fly and maybe even identify some people?" So we've certainly been supporting the concept of unmanned aircraft since 2007.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'm the editor-in-chief of our magazine that we put out every other month called Airbeat.
Okay.
And back in 2007, I put one of the covers on Airbeat. I had an artist draw a conceptual drone, and not a Ford copter. It would look like a helicopter, but you could tell it was unmanned because there's no windows.
Yep.
Flying, like it was zooming into a cityscape.
Okay.
And I got hate letters for that I was an idiot. I shouldn't be had anything to do with manned aircraft or law enforcement aviation. That what am I trying to do? Put people out of jobs? Now it's come full circle. From not only from the association, because the association always backed that, but from many of our members now understand and see the synergy between having filling the void.
Yes.
for unmanned aircraft, or for when you don't have a manned aircraft, and even if you have a manned aircraft, sometimes the synergy of them working together. We have our awards banquet tomorrow night for this year, and one of our our UAS award winner this year is a gentleman from Canada who's a tactical flight officer on the helicopters for them. What they've done is they've taken their tactical flight officers and trained them up as UAS pilots as well. So the helicopter's out flying with another crew. They get a call, a stolen car rolling, and so the helicopter starts heading that way. But it was close to where their station was, so he gets in the car that has a drone in it and flies and drives over there. Well, the guys bail out of the car. Before the helicopter gets there, he launches the drone. He sees the suspects in the field. He tracks them. The helicopter gets there. He puts the helicopter on one of them that ran into the neighborhood. Well, he follows the other one that was running down some railroad tracks.
Okay.
And so as soon as they got that as soon as they get the ground units, the helicopter got the ground units to arrest suspect number one. He tells the helicopter, okay, now come over here. I'll tell you where the suspect number two is hiding. Helicopter got there, got eyes on the suspect. Drone was almost out of juice. He landed it, put it away, but he caught both suspects, and he coordinated the altitude and between both aircraft.
Of course.
And the coordination, and he's winning our UAS award this year.
What
So there is great synergy.
What a great use case. You were kind of seeing the future with that article that you wrote up, right? People got a little hate mail, but what's interesting is that there's 0 to 400 feet is not used. When 500 feet and above is fixed wing and helicopter. So it's a great synergy between fixed wing aircraft, helicopter, and unmanned vehicles. And our foundation is on a mission to help public safety agencies across the country put their hands on this technology so that not only they can operate more safer, keep people out of harm's way, whether it be police or first responders or search and rescue, but also to benefit the community and keep people safe. And we rely on donations. We rely on people that work with us, partner supporters like this. Not only is Dan on the board, by the way, he also is a supporter. He's invited us to this event, and I must say I've met a lot of departments that never heard of our foundation that may have some drones for us as a result of just shelving old technology. So we're looking to have support from you, the public, help us to put these life-saving tools in the hands of public safety across the country. And if you have any questions, you can support us on Amazon.com if you want with Amazon Smiles. You can make an outright donation if you have an old drone on the shelf that you'd like to donate to us. We donate not only to public safety, but we also joined with Women in Drones, and we donate and support STEM programs across the country. If you're looking to buy a drone, contact us. We have partners that'll verify best pricing, and we'll also receive 5% of the net proceeds as a result of that. So it's a win-win. And then if you're a department looking to get rid of old hardware, why not contact us? We can put it back to use. Dan, I can't thank you enough.
Mark, one more comment.
Sure.
Mind. Those of us that had the luxury of working for police departments or law enforcement that had manned aircraft, we realized the tactical advantage you have with that aerial perspective, but we also realized that the Department of Justice, there's 18,000 law enforcement agencies, a lot more fire departments out there as well. And only 350 agencies across the U.S. have the luxury of a manned aircraft.
Seriously. I didn't know that.
So there's another 17,000 out that don't have it. So that's what that's why we started supporting unmanned aircraft back in 2007, because we realized a lot of our brethren out there don't have that tactical advantage of that airborne perspective. And if they can get that, and if getting it through a drone, what an awesome tool for them. So
I agree. So we just recently started a newsletter as well, and we post stories about how drones are being used. You were involved when 333 was before 107, right?
Oh yeah, before 333.
Before 333.
We were working on getting to 333.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah. Well, again, I can't thank you enough for allowing us to be here, being on our board. You're a great asset for our organization. I look forward to work with you. Hopefully, you're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Not my plan.
Well, and I had a chance to meet his wife. His wife is an amazing supporter of him and the work he does. And we can't thank law enforcement enough for all that they do. So if you please share this video with others. Like, share, subscribe to what we're doing. Please also make a donation to us so that we can help other departments help save more lives. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.